What's up? Eric Butler here for TatumReport.com, and CNN has worst weekend since 2000 among critical demographic as viewers flee network. So, interesting framing. This is from their arch rival, Fox News, but I do think this is a good thing. And we had a little bit of good news the other day with FINA, the International Swimming Federation or whatever, banning biological males from female swimming. There were some caveats with that story, but anyways, they say, Americans largely avoided CNN during Father's Day weekend as the network continued to hemorrhage support from the demographic most coveted by advertisers. So it was Father's Day weekend, and I think you should probably be barbecuing with your father, your son, your family. Nonetheless, this is still good news that one of the main propagandists perpetuating the facade is continuing to struggle. We all had a good laugh when CNN Plus collapsed, and they have this new president and CEO, Chris Licht, I believe his name is. And I talked about him a while ago on Instagram because, for better or for worse, I don't think there's any saving this network, at least not without getting rid of everybody, from the mailroom and the janitorial staff all the way up to Stelter and Lemon and Jim Acosta. And of course, shout out to Chris Cuomo for getting out ahead of this, even if it wasn't by his own choice. And I'm honestly not sure who's still watching this stuff. I guess boomers, and no shade to the boomers, but they perhaps don't quite realize that the network has completely changed since the glory days of the 80s and 90s, or maybe it hasn't changed at all. Maybe they've always been like this, but now because everybody has a computer in their pocket, we can see the lies and we can see the manipulation. We remember, what was it, 2015 or 2016, when Chris Cuomo said that everything you get from these emails you have to learn through us because it's illegal for you to have this material or something like that. And the list of their lies and manipulation is endless. I mean, from Covington, Russiagate, Ukraine. I mean, we don't have enough time for me to name all of the things that CNN has done wrong. And speaking of lies, the brand new CEO, or I don't know if he's brand new, but a couple months ago, I suppose, earlier this year when Zucker had to step down because he was doing some unsavory things with an employee. Again, that's a completely different story. But the new guy is apparently asking the employees, the talking heads, not to use the phrase the big lie, because it is obviously a Democrat rallying cry, a Democrat talking point cooked up by Democratic politicians. And we all know that the media and the Democratic Party have been a huge incestuous family for quite some time now. And I mean this literally, right? From the Cuomo brothers to the new press secretary who is married to a CNN employee, and a host of other questionable conflicts of interest. So with all that said, I don't feel sorry for the guy because I'm sure he's a multi-millionaire and he's not going to struggle at all. But if he actually wants to turn this ship around, it's going to be one of the hardest jobs in the history of man. You can't just fire Brian Stelter, which there's been rumors that Brian Stelter's days are numbered. That's unconfirmed. We don't know. We can hope that they get rid of Brian Stelter, but that's not going to be enough. You can't lie to people for decades and then get rid of one guy and say, oh, we're completely new. No, you have to start from scratch. It's totally rotten. I mean, like I said, the mailroom, the janitorial staff, editors, cameramen, everybody's got to go. You got to start fresh. It's all completely rotten. Like, could you imagine if somebody had just been lying to you for a decade and they just come back and say, oh, well, that part of my life is over with now. I'm going to tell you the truth from here on out. It's just not going to be believable. You have to start from scratch. I mean, I would venture to say they even need nobody is going to believe this. Well, a handful of the cult members, I guess. But if you look back at even recent years, there are a bunch of people, BLM protesters and rioters who were, basically attacking the CNN headquarters. So I'm not sure who's left, but I digress here. The point is, you have to start from scratch because they've been lying to you. They've been lying to us for so long, and you would be a fool. What's the saying? Oh, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So it's all completely rotten. You have to start over from scratch, new name, new logo, new everything, and say, look, we are really trying. I mean, you have to, obviously, you have to be honest at this point, but you have to say, we are really turning over a new leaf. We got rid of everybody, and hopefully this guy, Chris Licht, I believe his name is, can realize that getting rid of Stelter or even getting rid of Acosta is just not going to do it. You got to start all over, bro, and best of luck, even though I vow to never watch CNN no matter what they do.
Thank you for watching another Tatum Report video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, subscribe to us everywhere on social media, and if God has put it in your heart, give us a donation. See you on the next video.